Coming up on Ag Week TV, we'll get an update on the harvest, including problems with this year's potato crop. When the calf and yearling crop come to market, it makes a huge economic impact on communities across South Dakota. USDA rolls out federal hemp rules, and equipment manufacturers provide solutions for farmers faced with record moisture and a historically slow harvest. Welcome to Ag Week TV. I'm Michelle Rook. They say necessity is the mother of invention, and this wet fall weather has made it necessary for some farmers to get creative in getting the crop off. Mikkel Pates visited one northeast North Dakota farmer who's found a new way to harvest his waterlogged corn.
The weather conditions are such that we cannot haul this off with trucks.
Keith Gemmel farms with his son and grandson near Fortville, North Dakota. About half their acreage is for livestock feed. And on this day, they're struggling to get about 700 acres of silage corn out of the fields while it still has feed value. There was no way to get trucks into the field after 2 feet of snow and another inch of rain, so he and a group of neighbors improvised.
We got our heads together. There was a group of local producers, and we said the only way we're going to get this silage off is if we come up with some way to pull trailers through the corn and do the harvesting.
They could have hooked four-wheel drive tractors up to trucks and pulled them through, but that would have been too hard on trucks. Besides, a lot of their fields are too small, so that wouldn't work. Instead, they modified manure spreaders, adding high wooden sides and removing the spreader portion from the back end.
Because they're hooked to a four-wheel drive tractor, yeah. You can pull them just about anywhere.
I mean, it's just fortunate enough that there's enough in the country, or everybody's got one in the neighborhood, that we can all, help out each other.
Now the neighbors are working together to make sure everyone gets done.
There are some glitches. It's never quite as easy as you'd like to think it would be, but with these four-wheel drive tractors and their big flotation tires, we're able to get through and get the crop off.
Near Fortville, North Dakota, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
You can read more in the next Ag Week magazine or at agweek.com. Potato farmers are in a race against time, and much of the crop could be lost. One of the largest potato farmers in Grand Forks County, Carl Hoverson, is usually done harvesting by October 1st, but this year 17 inches of rain and another 20 inches of snow since September 1st is turning one of his best crops ever into one of his worst. His crew has been slowly making progress, but their equipment often gets stuck. And after waiting on muddy, flooded fields to dry, Hoverson needs to get his potatoes out of the ground before temperatures drop too low.
Bad thing is once they get cold like that, they'll start to, they won't fry very well, and then once they start getting frost damage, then it's probably getting to be too late. They won't store anymore.
Hoverson says this would be the first time since 1983 that they didn't finish the harvest. He says they'll be lucky to get to 75% complete. The farm has even been paying its seasonal workers to stay to help with harvest. Row crop harvest in the U.S. also continues to be at the slowest pace in 10 years, and it may be the slowest ever in areas of the northwestern corn belt. USDA pegged U.S. corn harvest at 41% done, 20% behind average. But South Dakota has only 14% harvested, and North Dakota just 6%. U.S. soybean harvest is at 62% complete, with the slowest pace in North Dakota at a mere 29% versus the 91% average. It has been one of the latest and most frustrating harvest seasons most farmers have ever experienced. That includes Doug Hansen, who farms in southeast South Dakota. He'd normally be done harvesting soybeans by now.
It's right up there with some of the slowest and most frustrating ones. But it just kind of matches the whole year.
Hansen only planted 30% of his normal acres to mostly soybeans. Those yields are only running 5 bushels per acre off his average farm yield.
The yields have been running in the mid-50s, I would say, most of the time. Maybe 1 or 2 fields, and we didn't have a lot of fields, of course, but 1 or 2 fields bumped that 60 area.
He says corn harvest will only take 2 days and will be the shortest he's ever had on the farm. This week's Crop Stop finds yet another North Dakota farmer having harvest delays. Mikkel found Lance Renner trying to harvest his soybeans southwest of Mandan. Renner says he's thankful for getting all the cereal grains combined by the end of August before the rain started in September, but now he's concerned about soybeans.
I don't know if it's the right thing to do is take them off when they're a little wetter, but what do? You're kind of in between stuff, kind of don't know what to do. It could get wetter, you could get snow, and then you can't get in there anyways because at least the corn and the sunflowers, you can combine them. They're standing up, where the beans, you got to scrape them off the ground, you know.
The renters also have a cow-calf beef enterprise. They weren't able to plant silage corn in a timely manner, so they've had challenges with frost and corn drying for making silage. With the harvest delays, USDA's Risk Management Agency has announced that farmers can file a notice of loss to request more time to harvest before the end of the insurance period. The harvest deadline just passed for spring wheat and barley. However, for corn and soybeans, the cutoff is December 10th. Farmers should contact their crop insurance agent for more information. Coming up on Ag Week TV, a Fargo ag equipment manufacturer comes up with a way to help sugar beet growers through this wet harvest.
For home delivery of Ag Week, log on to agweek.com or call 800-811-2580.
Seriously?
For under $4,000, the Wheelman is the ultimate auto steering system that any farmer can afford.
Ready for more? The new Fendt 900 Vario is impressive on every level. With groundbreaking features, you'll be ready for everyday challenges now and in the future. New smart connectivity solutions make the Fendt 900 series from Butler Machinery an intelligent choice for your farm. We're also proud to carry the Fendt Ideal, a new combine for a new era of farming. Designed to be automated in operation, the Ideal Combine is already setting industry standards for efficiency and output. Visit butlermachinery.com to schedule a demo at your operation.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
Micro Essentials is a unique product, so it makes it different than other products. It has 4 different nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, which is 2 forms of sulfur, and zinc in every granule. The sulfate sulfur, we get the bulk of the use of it the first year. The elemental breaks down over time. So it's a huge benefit for the grower. It's giving them the opportunity to get more nutrients in one.
Oh my goodness.
If ever there was a sugar beet harvest emergency, this year is it. The National Ag Statistics Service says beet harvest is way behind throughout the region. In North Dakota, it's just over half complete when it should be wrapping up. It's not much better in Minnesota, where growers are just over 60% done and 17 days behind schedule. As Mikkel Pates found in this week's Ag Week cover story, this harvest has one company scrambling to come up with a solution.
I've never seen anything like this. I hope I don't ever see it again.
Ross Corinta and his family have about 920 acres of beets near Fisher, Minnesota, but they're only 35% harvested because of the cold, wet weather.
Well, in that land I was working over there, if I had this lifter, I would have been stuck about 3-4 times.
And Corinta is not alone, so Amity Technology of Fargo got busy.
We are the North American leader in pull-type sugar beet harvesting equipment.
Amity marketing manager Ben Sanders says his 12-row harvester is their most popular in the Red River Valley, but this wet fall called for more flotation, so they got to work coming up with some new equipment fast.
It became a need in this year's conditions to keep them a little more afloat, especially when they get weighted down. And so we thought the need to put some tracks.
Row crop combines have had track-type wheels for years, but it's a new idea for sugar beet harvesters, and the Corintas think it shows promise.
Those tracks allowed us to get through spots that, like I said, this thing would have never made it through. I mean, you can't lift the beets because it's squished, the triples on the tractor are squishing them up, but I mean, that thing worked wonders getting through the wet spots.
The track kits list for $82,500 plus installation. Amity may offer them as a factory-installed option as soon as next year. Near Fisher, Minnesota, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
You can read more in the next Ag Week magazine or at agweek.com. The USDA has established a production testing and licensing program for the rapidly growing hemp industry. It includes provisions for USDA to approve hemp production plans from states and tribes, including those areas that allowed hemp production but didn't have production plans for it. The state rules must include a number of procedures, including testing for THC and disposing of plants that exceed the maximum THC levels. Farmers in the states that have not authorized hemp production, including South Dakota, still will not be able to grow the crop. The fall cattle run is underway in South Dakota. It's a time when most of the calf and yearling crop is marketed, and it has a huge economic impact on the state's cattle producers and rural communities.
I compare the fall run of the calf deal as bigger than pheasant hunting in South Dakota.
Steve Helwick with Hub City Livestock says that run starts the 1st of October in western South Dakota and early November in the east.
On the West River deal, you're probably looking at somewhere from 50 to 60,000 calves will move in a week. East River probably a little less than that.
At Mobridge Livestock, Casey Perman says they'll sell 8,000 to 9,000 head per week during the run. Many operations have been consigners for years and have spent a lifetime or generations building the reputation of their herds.
They go by top genetics, to go to a wholesale and buy a top bull for 10, 12, 15,000 is what they want to do.
Helwig agrees the quality of South Dakota feeder cattle is recognized nationwide.
Our cattle are as good as there is in the world, and I mean the world. There's cattle, I would say, go out of this area here to probably 30 or 35 of the 50 states.
During the fall cattle run, millions of dollars will circulate in South Dakota's economy, which is important for keeping rural towns like Mobridge alive.
We sell cattle from Minot, North Dakota to Billings, Montana, and people come overnight, motels, restaurants. Some people come a couple days ahead of time. They go downtown, shop.
Perman says the fall run also adds jobs at the sale barn and cafe, plus other businesses are touched, like trucking, vet services, and order buying. It all works together to keep the cattle industry one of the top revenue generators in the state. Still ahead on Ag Week TV, how a South Dakota man is bringing buffalo back to the plains.
How can one tillage tool handle most field conditions, residue types, and tillage practices? It takes a Renegade, the Summers VRT Renegade. Switch from vertical to aggressive tillage and anywhere in between. Adjust blade angles, tillage depth, and more on the go, all from an iPad. Get the tillage results you want, like only the Summers VRT Renegade can. For more information or a demo, contact your Summers dealer.
More successful seasons start with more freedom in the field. The exclusive agronomic and economic incentives of the FMC Freedom Pass program expand your crop protection options from pre-plant to harvest. More than 40 FMC products qualify. 40 plus herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides growers know and trust. And FMC rewards you for making independent, innovative crop protection decisions, not for making your seed purchase. Visit your FMC retailer or FMCFreedomPass.com today.
Steffes Group, selling land and the equipment to farm it since 1960. If you're interested in selling or have questions about our auction process, head to our website at steffesgroup.com to contact us at any one of our 4 locations located throughout the Midwest. You can also visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our auction previews and recaps to stay up to date on the market in your area.
Upgrade your trailer to electric with the Rolltech electric system from AgriCover. Strong, flexible pivot arms and motor mount rotate and telescope, allowing the roll tube to rise and flex over heaped loads. The positive automatic lock is impossible to back off to control the flow of grain. This integrated system uses one wireless remote to operate up to 10 tarps and hoppers, keeping your driver out of the dust, rain, and harm's way. See the Rolltech system in action at an AgriCover dealer near you. Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com.
A punishing winter more than 20 years ago, resulting in the loss of half his cattle, helped persuade Ron Brownotter to switch to raising buffalo. Today, he runs what is believed to be the largest buffalo ranch solely owned by an American Indian in the U.S. and Canada. His ranch on the Standing Rock Indian Reservation sprawls over 20,000 acres. Brownotter has 600 buffalo, but has room for 750. His ranch is part of a resurgence of buffalo herds at Standing Rock.
I am raising buffalo because I'm a Lakota Yanktonai person living on the Standing Rock Reservation. My family's here. We're surviving because of those buffalo. So it fits my culture. It's like a glove. When you put your hand in a glove, it fits. That's how I would describe it.
The buffalo are the hardy monarch of the Plains breed. Brownotter regularly thins his herd, auctioning off more than 300 calves and yearlings every November. He also hosts buffalo hunts. South Dakota is consistently one of the leading states for alfalfa production in the nation. However, production was down in 2018 due to extreme weather, and 2019 will go down as the biggest disaster for alfalfa producers in the state's history. The highest producing area is the Missouri River bottom in the southeast. And for the Freeburgs, 1984 had been the worst production year they'd faced in the hay business.
We thought 18 passed, 1984, and 19 just blew it out of the water. It's just historical disaster as far as we're concerned.
However, with flooding in 2018, winter kill last winter, and more flooding this spring, Freeburg hay lost most of their meadows.
I mean, it just all rolls together. But we went from 2,500 acres to less than 300 established acres this spring.
They did try to plant some acres this spring, but stands that were only a year old can't be reseeded or they develop toxicity. So they've had to buy hay from other areas of the country just to serve their customers. A cold but mostly dry week in the region allowed some harvest progress. Will it continue? Here's John with our AgriWeather outlook.
As the agricultural calendar moves forward into November in the Northern Plains, we're still trying to finish up the harvest, and that is not what we like to be doing or seeing going on this time of year. Take a look at what we're talking about this week. Cold weather continues. In fact, most of the next 2 weeks, first 2 weeks of November, still looking to be colder than average. Not as stormy as it's been. That doesn't mean there won't be any precipitation, but at least for the Northern Plains, upper Midwest, looks like we'll keep any big storms away from the area. The main wet area will be shifting to the east over the course of the next couple of weeks. Here's your jet stream pattern today, and it continues to be a very high amplitude pattern. Record heat up in parts of Alaska, record cold or near that down through the Great Lakes, and it will actually reinforce the really cold weather, as in sub-freezing highs will slip back down into North Dakota and northern Minnesota early on this week and likely linger throughout the week. Typical warm weather down south, but even that will shrink a little bit toward the end of the week and into next week as a cold front begins to dive on down south. So we're going to stay below freezing over most of the Northern Plains and quite cool down through Iowa. Next week, as we go through the second week of November, the 10th through the 16th, the jet stream kind of begins to flatten out just a little bit, lending itself toward less storminess. The cold weather will gradually shift east, but it's still going to be fairly cool across the Northern Plains. The really cold stuff will remain up north. Maybe one or two little bands of light snow in the Northern Plains this week. Otherwise, fairly rainy throughout the Corn Belt except for Iowa. Quite dry over most of the west. California fires continue. Looking at the second week on the board, looking at November 10 through 16, the Rockies will start getting some snow. Maybe one system moving up the northeast for some nor'easter snow, but most of the rain goes south. Northern Plains, upper Midwest, next couple of weeks, not that much precipitation, just cold.
With the success of the Case IH Steiger Quad Track and Magnum Road Track tractors, it's no secret why Case IH is the leader of the track. So it wasn't surprising when the competition started imitating us. But only Case IH offers a 5-axle design to give you a smoother ride, more power to the ground, with less berming and compaction. Still, we're flattered. In fact, if we weren't already red, we'd be blushing.
When harvest comes around, time is precious and you don't have a moment to waste. North Star Ag offers the Lofsness Grain Logix grain bag loader to deliver versatile grain storage performance load after load. Lofsness's user-friendly grain baggers are easy to load and unload, perfect to get your harvest in the bag. Uptime is crucial. Keep your crew in the field longer with a fuel trailer from Thunder Creek. And don't forget, North Star Ag has Meridian hopper bins for any size operation. See our complete new and used equipment inventory at northstarag.com or give us a call. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Mother Nature doesn't always cooperate. So when conditions are right, be ready with genuine Case IH parts from Titan Machinery. Only genuine Case IH parts are engineered to keep your equipment running at peak efficiency when you're running around the clock. Don't risk your bottom line with off-brand parts that don't meet the same standards. Visit your local Titan Machinery dealership today to find out why genuine Case IH parts offer the best value and performance for your operation.
Drain tiling is becoming more popular on farmland around the region because of the current wet cycle. Most systems use a submersible pump to move the water away from the fields. But General Irrigation of Oaks has come up with an above-ground pump to be used with field drain tile systems instead of the traditional submersible pumps. Rose Dunn explains why that's a better option.
Turbine pump technology is nothing new. We just took an old concept and applied it to lift stations.
General Irrigation and Dewatering has been in the water-moving business for 50 years, and they think they've come up with a better pump.
The technology that we're using is line shaft turbine technology, and we've applied it to the Dynaflow lift pump. The advantages of that are the electric motor stays above the water.
Being above ground means easier access for maintenance. It has a 1.5-inch steel line shaft. That makes it more rigid, so there's less vibration. And that means longer life for the pump, and it can handle solids up to 1 inch in diameter.
Because of the lower speed, the pump is going to last longer. The motor actually runs cooler and pulls less amps than a submersible motor, and therefore it would be cheaper to operate. And we know from history that a line shaft turbine will outlast a submersible 3 to 1. They last longer, they run cheaper, they have the ability to handle more solids. We can push water 2,000, 3,000 feet. We're pushing the water and lifting it 30 feet. And most submersible pumps won't do that.
This is an 8-inch pump. They also have a 12-inch pump that will move 1,500 gallons a minute, pushing the water 3,400 feet.
This particular pump behind me will put out 800 gallons a minute and still do what it's supposed to do here. It's supposed to push the water across the road.
Like the Dynaflow portable pump we showed you last spring, the lift pump is designed by Rosendahl and built in their shop in Oaks.
They do the job, they do it well, they operate efficiently, and they're low maintenance.
In Oaks, this is Rose Dunn for Ag Week.
You can find more information at dynaflowpump.com. A diverse group of academics took part in a friendly competition recently to find research topics for the farm of the future. NDSU's Office of Research and Creative Activity hosted a 2-day event on campus called Co-Search NDSU. It challenged researchers from various disciplines to come up with collaborative ideas. One of the participants is a project manager with Grand Farm, which is a high-tech project to develop the farm of the future south of Fargo. Still ahead on Ag Week TV, a South Dakota FFA student is shooting for a top honor as thousands gather in Indianapolis for the National FFA Convention.
Explore the convergence of agriculture and technology at Cultivate 2019 on November 14th. Cultivate is an emerging technology in agriculture conference hosted by Emerging Prairie of Fargo. Connect with industry leaders and farmers and learn about how the latest tech innovations are being utilized in agriculture. For more information, visit emergingprairie.com.
Dig, lay, and bury drain tile all in one pass with the Crary Tile Pro Plow. The Crary Tile Pro Plow lays tile up to 7 feet deep with boot sizes of 4 to 12 inches. Advantages of installing drain tile to your field provides increased overall yield, improved soil moisture levels, and controls soil erosion. It pays to tile with a Crary Tile Pro. To locate a dealer near you, visit www.crarytilepro.com.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Ag Week magazine. Reaching over 70,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Ag Week provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. Ag Week. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals, serving virtually every community in the United States, including yours. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by visiting feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Nearly 70,000 FFA members and guests from around the country are in Indianapolis this week for the 92nd National FFA Convention and Expo. They'll attend sessions, learn about ag careers, and vie for national titles in competitive events. One of those students is Andrew Streff of Salem, South Dakota. Streff is a finalist for the National FFA Star in Agricultural Placement. For Streff, it's the realization of a goal he set after his first National FFA convention.
All the work that I've put in, all the mentoring that I've received from industry professionals has gotten me to where I'm at today. And it's really showing me that, you don't have to come from the biggest farm, you don't necessarily have to have the best project, but if you set your goals high and really work towards them, you can get to what you want.
The convention wraps up this weekend with the election of a new national officer team. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. We'll see you next week.